Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Sharon, and today we're going to do some of our tailgate foods. If you know us, our family, we are big TCU fans and we tailgate all the home games. So these are several of our favorite tailgate foods. I'm going to start with a cheeseburger slider, and then we're going to go to a hot hammies, which is ham and cheese, and then a buffalo chicken dip, and finally we're going to end with Sopapilla Cheesecake. So we're going to start with the cheeseburger sliders, and I have my electric skillet on, so it may sizzle a little bit here. I'm putting in 2 pounds of ground beef, and this is the 80-20 blend of ground beef. You can use a leaner one, but I like this, and you'll see why at the end. It has a little more fat in it, and it just makes it a little more flavorful, I think. So I'm going to break this up with my wooden spoon here, and then I'm going to use this grate device if you don't have one. It really breaks down the ground beef. So I'm going to let this brown up. It'll take a few minutes, and then I'll show you what else we do to make these so yummy. I have made sliders for years, and these are 2 of my favorite. And they're very popular with guests, and even when we do events for like our youth group at church and VBS, whatever, we will make these. Kids love them, adults love them, so I hope you try them and let me know what you think about them. Okay, so these are going to cook, and we'll probably come back when just the pink is gone, and then we're going to add the other ingredients to it. The meat is pretty much done cooking. Actually, it's almost all the pink is gone, and that's what you want. So I'm going to add 2 envelopes of this Lipton onion soup mix. Okay? And mix that in really well, get it all combined. And you don't need any other seasoning in this. This gives it so much flavor. And stir that through. And you know, this still will bake. Oh gosh, my glasses are steaming up. This still will bake in the oven, so even if it's not 100% cooked, it will finish cooking in the oven. But this is, I think, 100% cooked. So I'm going to turn this off and unplug it just to make sure it's off. Sorry, take a second there. Okay. And now that it's unplugged, I'm going to add 2 more ingredients, which are, I need 2 cups of cheese. So this is 4-cup package, so I'm just going to add about half of it. So it'd be about 2 big handfuls. Let's see, yeah, that's about right. Okay, and you're going to mix that through, let it melt, get all melty, and then I am adding about half a cup or a couple of big dollops of mayonnaise, and you need to use mayonnaise, not Miracle Whip, okay, or salad dressing. So get that in there and get it all combined. Oh, this smells really, really good. Okay. And you can see there's a lot of grease in here, but I'll show you what I'm going to do with that grease. I kind of push this aside and then just let the grease kind of sit alone. But okay, so that is done. And I'm going to get my bread out, and we're going to show you how we pan this up, okay? So I'm going to scoot this over a little bit. Move my pan over here. I'm making 24 of these, so they will not fit in like a 9x13. You'd have to do 2. So I am going to put them on this baking sheet, and I've covered it with foil, and I've sprayed the foil very lightly with cooking spray. So I'm taking, now I get these Hawaiian rolls at Sam's. You get 2 16 count packages in each package, so it's really kind of nice. And so this is 16, and I'm using half of this other one, so I have 24, because this recipe is for 24 cheeseburger sliders. And okay, let me tell you one more thing. You have got to use the Hawaiian rolls. It just doesn't work as well. It doesn't taste as good. The sweet and salty, you know, savory and sweet, they're just amazing. So I'm going to put these aside here. Sorry, it's making a little mess. So what I'm going to do is take the tops off, and if you've noticed, we've cut them, and we cut them down the middle this way. So you're going to take these tops off. I'm going to put them right on top of there, and this one. And I'm going to take this mixture and spread it evenly on the rolls. Just spread it out. It's going to be a nice thick layer on here. And like I said, we serve these at tailgates, and you know, a lot of our small group, we have a lot of people in our small group, but they are definitely a favorite. So the ingredients on this, and I'll list them for you on the video, but it was 24 Hawaiian rolls, 2 pounds of ground beef, 2 envelopes of this onion soup mix, so it's 1 envelope for every pound, 2 cups of cheddar cheese, and about a half a cup, it's 2 tablespoons per pound, or actually a little bit more than that, or a tablespoon and a half, but yeah. So you can put as much or as little mayonnaise as you like. I think it gives it a lot of flavor and creaminess, so I love that you put mayonnaise in it. Okay, so that is all my beef mixture, and you see that's a nice thickness on that. Okay, so there you go. And then I'm going to put my spoon aside, and I'm going to take the tops and put them right back on. It's easier to cut them like this, and then when they're done baking, you just cut them apart with a knife. Like, you know, you don't have to cut each individual roll. It's really kind of nice. Okay, so there you go. So now what I'm going to do with this grease that's in the bottom, because you would typically melt some butter and put on, but I use this. Makes it so much better. So I'm just going to coat this with some of this grease all around the sides. And then I'm going to cover it with foil, and they're going to bake in a 350-degree oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, but the last 5 minutes I'm going to take the foil off so the tops kind of get a little brown and crisp up, okay? But see how pretty that is? Oh my goodness, these smell so good, and I'm so hungry. Okay, so we're going to take a break here. I'm going to get these covered and in the oven, and then we'll come back and start the hot hammies, okay? See you in a sec. Okay, so we're going to start making the sauce for the hot hammies. I'm doing 2 sticks of butter. Okay. I'm going to turn my heat on here. Make kind of a medium. And then I've got 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce, and 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard. Okay, and we're going to let that just warm up, get that butter melted and everything mixed up together. It doesn't have to heat up too much, just till it starts to maybe simmer. So it'll take just a couple of minutes. And this sauce is, okay, I've made so many ham and cheese sliders, and these are by far the best. These are called hot hammies. A friend of mine, Catherine Sasser, who owns Hurley House in Southwest Fort Worth, this is her recipe, and they're just amazing. So I want to give her a shout out, you know, because these are the best. And the recipe is on her website, hurleyhouse.com, I believe it is. And if you've ever been to Hurley House, they have amazing bakery items and meal items that you can pick up. But so see, this is already almost melted. I'm going to let it heat up just a little bit more. I know you can't see inside this pot, but the butter was room temperature, so that makes it a lot easier to heat up. And in Catherine's recipe, it calls for unsalted butter, and then you add salt. So I use 2 sticks of salted butter, and I am not adding any more salt. Also, you can add poppy seeds to this. I think the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons, but I don't do that because I've had friends in the past that have reactions to poppy seeds, so I just omit it. But it sure does make it pretty if you want to use it. So I'm letting this heat up just a little more. And then we're going to move over to the center and put these together. And you know, you could do these sliders for a weeknight meal. They're easy to transport if you put them in like a foil pan. So they're, you know, if you're doing it for game night, wherever you do game night. So this is completely melted, and I think it's ready to go. So I'm going to take it off the heat and move over to this. Okay, so I took the mixture that I was cooking on the stove, and I put it in a measuring cup because it's easier to, because you're using half at first. You're going to pour half of this over the bread, and it's also easier to pour. So I'm going to take, and what we did is the same thing. We have 24 rolls, and put the top half here. The bottom half is on a sprayed baking sheet. So I'm going to pour this. Made about 1.5 cups. So it's going to be about 3/4 of a cup of this mixture directly on the bread. And I know it seems like a lot, but it is so good like this. And you want that, liquid to soak in there. So that's why I have this spoon. Just kind of spread it out. Okay, let me see. So that's, need a little bit more. And then you're going to use the rest of it on the very top. So, okay. And now I'm going to put the ham. And this is ham. This is from Sam's. It's just their lean ham. And you're going to, oh, wait, you know what? That's wrong. I'm starting with the cheese. So we're doing the cheese. This is provolone cheese. This is a little over 1 pound. I don't know that I'll need all of it, but you know, you want to have plenty. So I'm doing all the provolone down first, and then I'm going to kind of make it fit like that. Here we go. And then we're going to put the ham. So you just want to make sure you have a nice, good covering of ham. These are kind of a little bit sweet, savory. They're just really delicious. And you can fit it however you want. You can roll up individual slices of ham, but you just want to make sure you have plenty on there for everyone. I'm going to do another layer here. And one more here. Okay, now I've got one bonus piece. We're going to put it right in the middle. So, and then I'm going to put another layer of cheese on top of this. Okay. And since there's cheese on top and bottom, it's really nice and cheesy, melty. So just make it fit however you can. Okay? And there you go. So now I'm going to put the tops of the rolls on. Get those lined up. And then we're going to pour the rest of this sauce on here. And these bake, both of them bake at 350, about the same time. This one is a little shorter bake, about 20 to 25 minutes. But this one you do not cover. You leave it uncovered. Just pouring the rest of that sauce right on top. I hope you guys try these. Like I said, you can do them for dinner, for take to a friend, whatever. They're so yummy. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, so we're going to get these in the oven, and then we're going to start on our buffalo chicken dip. Okay, be back in a sec. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is our buffalo chicken dip. And I know there's like so many versions of buffalo chicken dip, but this is what I do. So I use these big cans of chicken breast meat, and you can use rotisserie chicken. It'd probably be like 3 or 4 cups, but I'm using 2 of these big cans. I get them at Sam's, and I did drain them, both of them. Okay, I'm going to break up the bigger chunks a little bit. And now I've got 2 blocks of cream cheese, and this is softened. Okay, and then I'm going to use 1 cup of ranch dressing. You can use store-bought, but I made this just with the ranch seasoning and butter, or sorry, mayonnaise and milk. Get that all out of there. A little spatula here. And then I'm going to use this cup again to measure my Frank's Red Hot. Boy, that is the key to this, is you got to use Frank's. So I'm going to use a full cup of this. It's going to be a little spicy, but it's really good. Okay, just smelling this, it's like making my eyes water, but no, it's not super hot. It's actually the original one. I think they have an even hotter one than this, so. Okay, so I'm going to get this mixed up. So if you do get to watch this and you guys have some tailgate foods that you like, let me know what you like. So we have a lot of different things that we do, but like I said, this is one of our favorites and easy. The last home game we had, which was just last Saturday, we did walking tacos, which were a lot of fun. If you haven't done those, they're just big bags of Doritos or Fritos, and you put all your taco fixings in the bag. So it's a lot of fun. It's kind of a conversation starter too. Okay, so I've got most of this mixed up. I'm sorry if I have to keep switching hands because my arms get so tired. Okay, so I'm going to get this mixed up. And the last thing I'm going to add is some cheddar cheese. You can add, I know a lot of recipes call for blue cheese dressing if you want that instead of ranch, or blue cheese crumbles. So you can play with this and do whatever you want. Okay, that's pretty well mixed up, so I'm going to add, so this is the package. I use the 2 cups for the cheeseburger slider, so I'm going to finish this. I'm going to put most of it in here, and then I'm going to save some back to top to put on top of the casserole dish. This is it 8 by 11 casserole? But you could add more ingredients and make this into a 9 by 13, you know. Add another can of chicken, some more cheese, some more dressing. But this is going to fill that up really nicely. Okay, so we've got that mixed up. I'm going to transfer it to this casserole dish. I did spray it with Pam. Okay, I hate to block you guys, but yeah, here we go. You can see it. Okay, just spread it out. All right. So I'm just going to even it out here. And then we're going to cover it with the rest of that cheddar cheese. And everything I'm making today is at a 350, and they're all about the same time, about 30 minutes. So there we go. I'm going to finish that cheese up. Spread this out a little more. And there we go. Okay, we're going to get this in the oven. And then we're going to start on our Sopapilla cheesecake, and we'll be back in a sec. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is the Sopapilla cheesecake. It's very easy. Like all of these I said are crowd favorites, but we're going to start with 2 rolls of crescent rolls. And I think you can use the dough instead of the crescent rolls because, you know, they aren't perforated. But this is what I had on hand, so that's what I'm using. And it's kind of, the challenge is getting them in there so you don't have a lot of excess dough. So try to get that center perforation, if you can see this, in the center of this pan. And this is a 9 by 13. So I just kind of move it around so it works. And that looks pretty good. I've got a little bit of an outside crust, but that's okay. All right. And then I've already mixed this up. But you can see in the little side video, this is 2 blocks of softened cream cheese, a cup of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And we whipped it up. You can see it kind of looks like frosting. It's really yummy. And that's going to go on top of the bottom crescent roll layer. Okay. I'm going to get all that out of there and then spread it around as evenly as you can. It's pretty soft, so if your cream cheese is nice and soft, this spreads very easily, as you can see. Okay. There you go. That looks great. It smells good. Okay, and then we're going to top it with another layer of crescent rolls. Same thing, try and get that center perforation. And it's a little trickier when you've got the spread underneath this. It doesn't move quite as easily, but you can work it. Okay? So we're going to do that, get that spread out, kind of close those other perforations that are open. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is I melted 1 stick of butter. It seems like a lot, but you do need it. And you're just going to pour that over it. Kind of swims on top a little bit, but it will absorb it once it's baking. Okay, very good. You can see how that looks. It is kind of swimming on top of there, but I've never tried using less butter because I think it needs it. And then the last thing is cinnamon sugar. Now I always have cinnamon sugar on hand because I use it in a lot of recipes. So, but if you don't have any, it's just like half a cup of sugar to about 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Or if you like more cinnamon in, put 3 tablespoons of cinnamon. And I just cover this with cinnamon sugar. Oh, that smells so good. What is it with butter, cinnamon, sugar? Yum. Okay, and that is it. We're going to get this in the oven now, and then we're going to show you the finished product on all of the things that we've done today. So we'll be back in a little bit. Thanks. Okay, so now everything is out of the oven. We have our cheeseburger sliders, the hot hammies, the buffalo chicken dip, and then our Sopapilla cheesecake. So we're going to cut. Now normally I would just cut these, you know, like all the way down, and you're not going to like go in between each, well, you are going to cut in between each roll, but just like that. So I'm just going to cut off one just so you can see what it looks like. Oh man, so look at that. It's just cheesy and yummy. Looks so good. And then I'm going to cut the hot ham one too on the end here. You can see that, look at that cheese pool and the ham. It's kind of coming out a little bit, but so, and then the sauce just kind of caramelized on top. So these just smell so good. You guys should smell this kitchen. Okay, and I'm going to grab, we have some Frito scoops here. So I'm going to do a big scoop of the buffalo chicken dip right next to it. And it looks wonderful. And then the last is, I'm going to have to move this just a little bit so I can cut, is our Sopapilla cheesecake. So I'm going to cut a piece of that out. The cheese, it's still kind of hot, but I think it'll be okay. I'm just going to pull out a piece of this. You can see what it looks like on the inside. Oh my goodness, that is so good. Okay, actually, have another little plate for that to keep it separate. So there you go. So this is going to be our tailgate for this time, and they look really, really good. So I hope you try them, and like I said earlier, if you try them, let me know. And if you have any other tailgate foods that you really love, let me know what you do. Okay? All right. Thanks a lot for watching, and share if you want to, and make comments if you want to. Only nice comments, please. Okay? Have a great day.